Hi everybody, it's Jessica, and this is VEDA Day 15. I've been struggling a little bit to keep up with VEDA. I had grand plans and lots of ideas for videos that I wanted to record, and how I wanted to kind of capture a lot of my trip in Europe, and I haven't been able to keep up with it quite as much as I would like to. A lot of other things have come up that have kind of kept me from getting my videos recorded and uploaded, but forcing myself to make this video on the way home today so that I have day 15, and hopefully I can keep up with it for now until the end of the month. So today I want to talk a little bit about what you do when you need to sort of look internally for your own confidence rather than externally, and mostly I have a lot of questions about that. I don't really have a lot of answers or ideas necessarily, but I've been thinking lately about how do you not just keep yourself motivated, but like how do you almost become your own cheerleader and not need others to be a cheerleader for you. So I think that a lot of times self-doubt creeps in certain situations for everybody, and for some people more than others. And a question that I have is like, what do you do when you feel self-doubt creeping in, and how do you deal with that? And a question I have is like, what is the difference between being really highly reflective and critical of yourself and always wanting to learn and grow and be better than you were the day before, and how is that different from self-doubt or low self-confidence and things like that? I have been thinking about that a lot just for myself in the past day or so, but I also had a situation today. There's a teacher who I work with who is always really hard on herself and very critical of herself, but she's also so amazing, and like I truly am inspired by her every time I work with her, every time I talk to her or even think about her or talk about her. Like I just get so inspired by the way that she is such a learner and is always trying new things and taking risks and is always wanting to learn and grow. You know, she doesn't want to stagnate, and she doesn't want to just be okay. She wants to be great, and she wants to do the best possible things that she can for her students. And sometimes I wish that she wasn't so critical of herself and that she took more time to celebrate her successes. And sometimes I worry that she doesn't know just how amazing she is. And I work with a lot of teachers who are like that they're so reflective and they're so growth oriented, always wanting to learn more and do more and be better. And I worry about them because I worry that they are not taking the time that they deserve to celebrate what it is that they've accomplished, and to sort of pat themselves on the back and to recognize the growth that they've made so far. And I think that it's okay to just stop and take a minute and say, wow, I did that. I realized only after I left the classroom and left the role of a teacher that I was a good teacher, and I did some things really well. And there are some things that I wish I could go back and have a redo. There are things I've learned so much in the last couple of years that I wish I knew when I was in the classroom. And sometimes I think, I want to have a chance to do it again, to be a classroom teacher again. And, would I be such a better teacher now? Because I think in some ways I would be such a better teacher now. I have, I think, more perspective, and I understand things from a different level and a different lens. And I think that would help me a lot as a teacher. And I also just feel like I've grown in my understanding of instructional practices and classroom management and just all of those things. And so curriculum and all of that. So I think a lot of times that, we always think, oh, I could have been better, I could have done this better, and I think that's okay. But, I also kind of wish that I knew when I was in the classroom that I was also doing well, and that I was a strong teacher, and I wish that I could have known that for myself and not needed that from others. And that's something that I always struggle with, is that, I think it comes in part from being like the good kid all my life. I was always the kid who did well in school and was really well behaved and got lots of praise from teachers. And one of actually my favorite articles is by Carol Dweck, and it's called The Perils and Promise of Praise. And she talks a lot about a growth mindset and how a lot of times when we praise children, we do it in a way that can actually be detrimental to them. So that article really blew my mind and changed the way that I talked to kids, because I'm notorious for saying things to kids like, oh, awesome job, or oh, yeah, perfect. And using those kinds of words, that's not specific at all. It's not specific feedback. It doesn't help kids to grow. It really is just like a pat on the back, like, yep, you're a good kid kind of stuff. And I think I got a lot of that. A lot of, she's so smart, she's gifted, she gets really good grades, like all of those kinds of things. And I was really good at playing the game of school. And so I think that has led in my adulthood to needing to look externally for praise rather than being able to look inside of myself for that praise. And so I think that then that makes it even harder when your confidence is shaken or when self-doubt creeps in, because, you know, if you're kind of in a dry spell, if nobody is praising you, you know, then that really affects you and causes your confidence to definitely go down and be lowered. So that's just something that I've been thinking about lately. And, you know, if you have experiences or ways that you have been able to sort of stave off the self-doubt when it tries to get the best of you, or you know, take stock in the things that you're good at and be able to celebrate yourself. Love to hear how you do that and what your strategies are for those kinds of things, because I definitely will be trying to figure out some ways that I can keep my confidence in the face of some challenges, and also not lose my sense of reflection and striving to be better and grow and learn, but also be able to say, yes, I am good at this, and yes, these are the skills that I bring to the table, and also not comparing myself to others as much as comparing myself to myself. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's where it comes into play, is how do you make sure that when you are comparing yourself, obviously we don't want to compare ourselves all the time, but like, maybe that's the good kind of comparison, is that when you're comparing yourself to yourself and who you were before and who you want to be, and, you know, always striving to be a better you, maybe that's when being critical is a little bit more healthy than comparing yourself to others. So I don't know, I'll have to think about that more, but that's kind of what I'm pondering today. I hope everybody had a great week, and with any luck, fingers crossed, I will talk to all of you tomorrow.